Title: The Cat, by Andrew Barton Paterson. Welcome, friends. We are going to narrate the story, The Cat, by Andrew Barton Paterson, which is included in the school syllabus. Most people think that cats are unintelligent animals, fond of ease and caring little for anything but mice and milk. But a cat has really more character than most human beings and gets a great deal more satisfaction out of life. He or she is an athlete, an acrobat, and a grim fighter. All day long, the cat loafs around the house, takes things easy, and allows himself to be pestered by the attention of the people in the house. To pass the time away, he sometimes, just for fun, watches a mouse hole for an hour or two, even if the mouse never comes out. The cat does it to keep himself from dying of boredom. People often get the idea that this sort of thing is all that holds life together for a cat. But watch him as the shades of evening fall. You can see the cat as he really is. When the family sits down to tea, the cat puts in an appearance to get his share. He purrs noisily and rubs himself against the legs of the family members. If there is a guest at the table, the cat is particularly civil to him because the guest is likely to have the best of what is offered. Sometimes, instead of giving him something to eat, the guest stoops down and strokes the cat and says, "Poor pussy, poor pussy." Guest: "Poor pussy, you're so cute." The cat, thinking, "Enough petting. Where's my fish?" The guest strokes the cat, but the cat soon tires of that. He puts up his claw and quietly but firmly rakes the guest in the leg. "Ow," says the guest. "The cat stuck his claws into me." The delighted family remarks, "Isn't it sweet of him? Isn't he intelligent? He wants you to give him something to eat." The guest dares not do what he would like to do, kick the cat out of the window. So, with tears of rage and pain in his eyes, he seems to be very much amused and sorts out a bit of fish from his plate and hands it down. The cat gingerly receives it with a look in his eyes that says, "Another time, my friend, you won't be so slow to understand." He purrs as he retires to a safe distance from the guest's boot before eating his food. When the family has finished tea and gathers around the fire, the cat casually goes out of the room. True life now begins for him. He saunters down his own backyard, springs to the top of the fence, and drops lightly down to the other side. He trots across and skips to the roof of an empty shed. His movement becomes lithe and panther-like. He looks keenly from side to side and moves noiselessly, for he has so many enemies, dogs and small boys with stones. On top of the shed, the cat arches his back and rakes his claws once or twice through the soft bark of the old roof. He stretches himself a few times to see if every muscle is in full working order. Then, drooping his head nearly to his paws, he sends across a call to his kindred. Before long, they come gliding, graceful shadows. No longer are they the meek creatures who, an hour ago, were mewing for fish and milk. They are now grim fighters. Just think how much more he gets out of his life than you do out of yours. And the sports they have, too. As they get older, they head out for sports in the suburban backyards. These backyards that are dull to us are to them hunting grounds, where they have more gallant adventures than King Arthur's knights ever had. It is always spoken as a reproach against cats, that they are more fond of their home than of the people in it. Naturally, the cat does not like to leave his country, the land where all his friends are, and where he knows every landmark. Exiled in a new land, he would have to learn a new geography. So, when the family moves, the cat, if allowed, will stay at the old house and attach himself to the new tenants. He will give them the privilege of boarding him while he enjoys life in his own way. Summary of the story. This story follows Simba, a clever cat who seems lazy during the day but reveals his adventurous spirit by night. Though quiet and cuddly around people, Simba becomes a graceful and daring hunter with his feline friends after dark. The story teaches us not to judge others by how they seem. There's always more beneath the surface. Lesson of the story: be proud of who you are. Even a quiet cat has a wild heart. Never underestimate yourself or others based on appearances. Every creature, big or small, has its own secret talents and stories.